Would y'all stop? Grow a brain. Thank you.
And if we look at this on the Bitcoin chart, we can actually see this playing out. And I'm going to pull up just traditional indicators here on this one so everybody can follow along. What we can see is a rise. We broke out, sure, but we have a rising wedge that we had a little false breakout, come back into it. Rising wedges typically break out bearishly. Now, this is further exemplifying the uncertainty here because we have this rising wedge, but the price action coming into this is a falling channel. This is a bullish structure. So we have a bullish structure within a larger bearish structure coming up to this line right here that we outlined a few weeks ago, the center of the middle of June, which let's talk about it. June 13th. Okay. I know that I've gotten, issues before with the court where I had to have a court date set. And the court date usually took 6 to 8 months to a year to happen. How the hell did Binance have this charge brought against them? And now they have a court date on June 13th. What else is June 13th? Hinman documents coming out. What else is June 13th? We have the Financial Means and Services Committee or something meeting on digital assets on June 13th. We also have the FOMC 13th and 14th, all leading into this, absolute catastrophe of certainty right now. So what I would really suggest, regardless of any TA, now is the time to really make sure that you understand what your risk exposure is. Are you comfortable with it? Are you very scared? If you're very scared right here, you're probably too exposed. You probably don't have the right sort of diversification in your portfolio. The other thing to consider here is that I wanted to bring up, I had the chart up, let me bring this up, totals, is because of everything going on with the altcoin market, we need to be very vigilant about, even if you think you don't like Bitcoin, you only hold altcoins, which one I will say is probably silly because Bitcoin is the safest digital asset because of the market cap and the amount of the time that it's been around. But we have a strong possibility. Of the dominance breaking through this 48% sort of range that we've been in for 2 years. And why do I say this? Not only are we near the top, but if there's uncertainty around altcoins, and there's on-ramps and off-ramps closing, like for instance on Binance, USDT was closed on Binance. I think it was today or yesterday. There's a high probability that people are going to start moving some of their capital, maybe not entirely out of crypto, but at least some of it to Bitcoin. There's more strength in the certainty of Bitcoin right now, as well as how it's looking in the charts. Everything is the bottom is sort of falling out because of the certainty and those other assets. So we've got to pay attention to this. If this does start moving up sharply, we may be seeing a lot more pressure and liquidity flowing out of the altcoin market. So I just wanted to urge caution right now. The only other thing I'll show is in terms of charts is on the Cardano chart. Actually, that's not the chart. Let me go back. On the Cardano chart, we saw the data coming out with Robinhood closing off the on-ramps there. Well, we can see, look at this. We fell right out of this rising wedge. What did it do? Break bearish. That's what they typically do. But if we look at this on this chart right here, where's the chart? This chart right here. I was outlining the last few days on the BitLab stream. Once we lost this level, not only did we lose a level, we came up, retested the level above it, got rejected. This was laid out in the charts for us despite the news. And then as we come down right here, I was talking about yesterday on the BitLab stream that this may be likely if this breaks down, which this looks like it will. Why? Because we have a down, sideways, down, sideways, down, sideways, down. I do think that Cardano has a very high probability of coming down to this 30-cent mark. So that's all I really wanted to share here. There's a number of other things I could go into, but it doesn't. It's all about just pace yourself. If you want to know more, if you're feeling lost in the markets, come check out BitLab Academy.
Binance US traded that added that it had planned to transition to a crypto-only exchange and reiterated that it maintains one-to-one reserves for all customer assets. The SEC has taken to using extremely aggressive and intimidating tactics in its pursuit of an ideological campaign against American digital asset industry. Binance.us and our business partners have not, let's get the whole story here, have not been spared in the use of these tactics, which has created challenges for the banks with whom we work. As a result, in an effort to protect our customers and platform today, we're suspending USD deposits and notifying customers that our banking partners are preparing to pause fiat withdrawal channels as early as June 12th or June 13th, 2023. We encourage customers to take appropriate action with their USD. Our priority is, and has always been, our customers. We are taking these proactive steps as we, for a time, transition to a crypto-only exchange. This is your key line right here, guys. This is your key line. We are taking these proactive steps as we, for a time, transition to a crypto-only exchange. That's not what the headline said, was it? To be clear, we maintain one-to-one, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so here we go. What I've been told is that all that's going on is this is a transition period. Right now, Binance is in the final stages, Binance.us in the final stages of closing a deal with a new banking partner in the United States. Who could that be? I don't know. It's a ballsy bank. I'll tell you that much. If they're willing to go against what the SEC and the traditional banking and the bribes from the banking system to Gary Gensler, are doing. She doesn't write articles. She writes tweets, you idiot. You dummy. Who said we're talking about writing articles? Who said that? Yes, articles would qualify for pseudonymous. I agree. Tweets do not. Would y'all stop? Grow a brain. Thank you. Oh, wait, what is this here? What is this? Is vintage BitBboy?
This is vintage BitBboy, yes. I'm excited about this.
How much are we going to watch this video?
As much as you would like, I would imagine.
Very curious to see what it is here. A Ripple love story?
I think what Nick was saying was this was like the second or third video that Nick was responsible for helping you with.
I was on vacation. That is Clearwater, Florida. I believe this is this is when I took my kids to the Super Bowl. Let's see what the exact date is. No, April 9th. This is the this is the day. This is the trip my Hellcat got stolen on at the airport.
Ah.
So we went to Clearwater for the Super Bowl, had such a good time. We went back in April as a family. Can't wait for Congressman Donald to get to talk to Gary. Can't wait for the attack ads on Gary and Warren in 2024. I can't either. Good job. All right, here we go. Welcome to BitBboy Crypto, the largest crypto channel in all the interwebs. My name is Ben. Every day on the channel, I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like money and you like I remember that intro.
Go ahead and make sure to hit that subscribe button. You might also win a full Bitcoin. A full Bitcoin.
You said Bitcoin.
Details down below. Also, guys, if you're in the XRP army, or if you are just in the crypto community, go ahead and smash that like button, because what I got to talk to you about today is absolutely huge. And some people may say bigger than my hair, which is hard to do.
Look at that hair.
Look at that. All right, guys, listen. Here's the thing. We got Bitcoin kind of pumping right now, kind of exciting stuff. I talk to you guys about Bitcoin and trading every day. I think what's going on right now with XRP is extremely interesting. And I'm announcing today that I'm officially joining the XRP.
Oh, wow.
Army. Or at least, maybe I'm not going that far, okay? But I'm at least going to start adding XRP back to my portfolio. And
this is when I started falling in love with XRP.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon
Can't escape
is not with physical products.
Shut up.
If we look back at what
people
happened
shilling.
with Wall Street bets and Dogecoin,
Back to XRP.
It was a financial protest. What we're seeing right now with XRP, in all reality, is a protest
of the SEC, and it is a protest of the status quo, a protest of the way things have always been. If you guys watch our channel every single day, you guys know that TJ hates XRP. I'm not quite as bearish on it as he is, but the fact is, I think as a crypto community we can all look and join forces together and see the reverberating effects that this is going to have, this case between the SEC and Ripple Labs, the reverberating effects it's going to have. And I read an article this morning, and it wasn't necessarily from a crypto site. It was from
This was 2 years ago, over 2 years ago.
It was extremely fascinating.
I have YouTube Premium.
Starting to see a path
I'm not logged in
for Ripple. I didn't even think that 2 or 3 days ago, but it looks like there's a chance that this could go down as the largest hallmark case in the history of cryptocurrency, in the history of digital assets, maybe even in the history of the SEC. And you guys know, as bad as TJ hates XRP, we all said the other day, the SEC is really the entity that we should really see change from. Now, I could get into...
We watched this entire video. We don't have time. But man, that's a good video.
That's good takes.
Guys, I have a lot of good takes. It's so crazy what people say about me on the internet. He's wrong about everything. We predict so much stuff years in advance about how big this case was going to be. I said back then I didn't think that they would win. I was saying that before that, and that was the day that I turned. And I did join the XRP Army. Now, I was not the true master and commander of the XRP Army yet, but I did become the self-proclaimed a little bit later. So, wow. Interesting. Okay. Speaking of XRP, which, of course, is brought to you guys by Stake. If you guys would like to if you'd like to play games with crypto, all you got to do is go to BitBboyCrypto.com/stake, and you guys can sign up, depending on if you're on the US side or you're international, right there on the site. And we are working on a full page, by the way, guys. It'll be done, not this week, but we're anything that we have a link for, we're putting it on one page. So, that's going to be a big deal there. Ripple case more crucial than ever amid Coinbase, Binance, SEC crackdown. If only there was somebody in April of 2021 that was trying to tell you how important this case was, We'll
have to go, we'll dig for that video.
We'll try to dig for that video. Yeah. Whether XRP is ruled as a security or not, the Ripple case will have an influence on the 2 latest crypto exchange lawsuits. Crypto lawyers told Cointelegraph. The judges presiding over Coinbase and Binance's lawsuits will likely watch the results of the SEC versus Ripple case closely. Lawyer James Murphy, we love, Meta Lawman. He does a lot of good stuff, sends me a lot of emails. He's been on the show actually before, I believe, explaining in a series of tweets that a favorable outcome for Ripple could undermine the entire basis for the SEC's case against both Coinbase and Binance. This makes me think the case is going to end closer to the end of July.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Because this kind of makes sense. Because I think we're going to have a long, boring summer. When the XRP case ends, throw that X up, by the way, if you're in the XRP Army, when the case ends, we're going to, altcoin market's going to go crazy, right? Then we're going to get the relistings and the whole 9 yards. So very interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
Do you think, Ben, that, okay, so all these recent lawsuits is just, they knew they're going to lose hard when they lose the Ripple case, but it's like, can we FUD as many people as possible now? And then it'll be a one fell swoop. XRP, Ripple wins, and then Coinbase and Binance case goes away.
Well, I don't know if they'll see. It's kind of this thing where the SEC wants to make sure. What you're saying is correct, but the SEC wants to make sure that they get all these enforcement actions in before that happens. BitBboy Crypto, where should I put the rest of dry powder? 95 USD. He has a total of 29,600 in his portfolio. He's got 29,600 in Bitcoin. Okay, that's a pretty good portfolio. It's a pretty good portfolio. I would like to see you increase your XRP and your ADA and at least one of your layer 2 networks. That's what I'd like to see.
It's a good time to increase that ADA bag.
It is. Eddie sees his $10,000 portfolio. He's got 15K H-bar. I've been so shocked at how many people have H-bar as number 1 in their portfolio. It's very interesting. Look, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell just about everybody that has a portfolio like you have here. You need more Ethereum in there. Guys, you need to have Ethereum or Cardano or XRP, I believe, is your number 1 bag. Or Bitcoin. Bitcoin will work as well.
I think some of these other ones are a little riskier. I'm not saying HBAR is risky, like it's not going to do well, but you just want to lead with your more stable assets. I do think it's a great time to add Cardano. So hoping for 100K to 200K. I think it's definitely possible. I think you're going to probably hit that range, and that's good. All right, guys, that is all I got for today. You guys be blessed. Have a great weekend. BitBboy out.